All right, Sheriff Hardwick has released a few more details about the incident that unfortunately resulted in the death of Sergeant Michael Kunovich. New details about the death, from what we're told now, and it's not much more, but it is a little bit more. It helps us kind of fill in the picture a little bit more. Sergeant Kunovich had basically interacted with Virgilio Aguilar Mendez, who was reported as trespassing, which is kind of how this incident sort of started. I believe when the sergeant got there, he was outside of a closed establishment. And so they had a little bit of a tussle. There was the taser was involved. Obviously, this is kind of not as new as possible, but he did grab for the taser during the tussle. And after he was handcuffed, the sergeant did collapse after that struggle. And you know what? At first, we kind of wondered, was he stabbed? Because because
they said it mentioned a knife.
And it still doesn't sound like that. After that, I wondered if there's a fentanyl situation.
Right.
Did he have some fentanyl on him, and maybe that got to the officers? I don't know, but it seems like this may have just been an incident that resulted in
If you've ever been in a fight, most fights last about 15 to 20 seconds.
Yeah.
We're talking seconds. This fight lasted over 6 minutes.
Yeah.
Yikes.
And I mean, even MMA fighters, their rounds are 5 minutes, and they're in the best possible shape out there, and they're
exhausted.
Spent. They're spent after 5 minutes.
Yeah, man.
So I mean, I just feel horrible for the family.
Me too. Me too, man.
Yeah, all the sheriff department. I mean, they lost a very close friend and
they lost a brother. Yeah. This is
the band of brothers
everybody knew at the sheriff's office. And it does appear investigators are now saying that Mendez was illegally in the country.
Oh, okay.
Not supposed to be here. So, boy, that just...
So what are we going to do? Extradite him back, and then he can just,
Well, no, I think he has to stand trial first. They are going to keep him here as long as they possibly can. They are apparently working with ICE to make sure he is held accountable for this death here in St. Johns County. So that's where we're at now. That's the new information that we got. And again, not a whole lot of new information, but does help us kind of piece more of this puzzle together.
And I'll tell you, a lot of people
continues.
A lot of people, and I hate to go back to the DeSantis thing. A lot of people were upset about DeSantis laws about hiring illegals and these things.
Sure.
This right here shows where DeSantis is on the right track.
Yeah.
Of
trying to curb this in Florida.
Trying to control a situation, and so
But the question is that going to translate to the rest of the country? That is a really good question, because it translates here, which is great. But does that policy really going to?
Well, I'll tell you what. In the state of Florida, this guy is going to get maximum punishment.
I
have no doubt about that. He's going to get maximum punishment. So.
Yeah.
In California, they might have already sent him back.
Oh, absolutely.
They might have already sent him back.
Right. Or given him a house and a welfare card.
And a little street cleanup job that he has to do. Pay it back to the state. BS.
So, you're right, Troy. It does speak to that point. It does. It's very, very unfortunate, man. It's very, very unfortunate. But he will face justice here in Florida.